Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back again to Morning Stir and Through the Bible with Yolanda Worldwide on YouTube. I want to go ahead and say welcome to those of you who are joining in as replay viewers. I'm so incredibly blessed that you are here. Leave that mark by giving me that hashtag replay in the public comments. And if you're brand new, let me know that as well. And be sure to click the subscribe button. For those who are joining brand new, or not brand new, for those who are joining in live, my people, my people, my people, I know you have missed me. I had to go and do a reset time on a cruise last week, and I made a split decision that I needed to take that entire week off to reset and rejuvenate. I almost set out for the rest of the holidays, but I thought, no, I'm not going to do that to you all. I wanted to get back here a few days today. So we're going to go ahead and do what it is that we do. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one, go ahead and greet me whatever way you do in your part of the world. Number two, let me know where in the world you're joining in from. Number three, help me by clicking the little thumbs up on the screen. Number four, please help me share this broadcast far and wide. And number five, if you are, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'm stirred up. I'm stirred up. And if you're like me, I'm stirred all the way up. Stick with me till the end. If I have enough time, I'm going to give an announcement about our 21-day Expecting Greater Fast that will be coming up in the month of January. But for now, let's begin to pray. Rakatabako reketete de bakoreke de bataya, rokotata de bakoshaya, reketete de bakoshata, rakatabako rekete de baya, reketete de bakosha, rakatata de baya, reketete de bakoshaya, randi ikarakataya, roro de bakoreke de bata, randi ikarakata, reketete de bakosha, randi ikarakata, reketete de bakoshaya, reketete de bakoshaya, reketete de bakoshaya, roko de bakoreke de bata, randi ikarakataya, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, rekete de bakoreke de bata, rakata de bakoreke de bataya, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, rekete de bakoreke de bataya. Rakadada bakoreke de bata, randi ikarakata, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, rekete de bakoreke de bata, randi ikarakata ta 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 ta, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, rekete de bakoshaya, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, randi ikarakata da bakoya da bakoyaya, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, rekete de bakoreke de bata, rekete de bakoreke de bataya, rakata de bakoreke de bataya, Randi ikarakataya, rikede bakoreke bataya, rikede bakoreke bataya, rikede bakoreke bataya, rakata bakoreke bataya, rokota bakoreke bataya, rikede bakoreke baya, rikede bakoreke bataya, rikede bakoreke bata, rokota bakoshataya. Rakata de bakoreke de bakoshaya, rakata de bakoreke de bataya, rikete de bakoreke de bata, rokota de bakoreke de bataya, rokota de bakoreke de bakoshaya, rokota de bakoshaya, rakata de bakoreke de bataya, rikete de bakoreke de bakoshaya, randi ikarakata ta 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 ta, rokota de bakoshaya, randi ikarakata de bakoreke de bata, randi ikarakata kata, rekede bakoreke bata, rekede bakoreke bataya, randi ikarakata tata, rekede bakoreke bataya, rekede bakoreke bataya, rekede bakoreke bakoyaya, rakatata bakoshaya, randi ikarakata bakoya, rekede bakoreke bakoshaya, rekede bakoshaya rabakoya rabata, rakatata bakoreke bakoshaya, rekede bakoreke bakoshaya, rakatata bakosha, rakatata bako akaya, rekede bakoreke bata, mandi ikarakataya, rekede bakoshaya, rekede bakoreke bata. Rakadadadabaya, rikadadadadabakoshaya, rikadadadadabakoshaya, radadadadabaya, rabakorikadabetaya, rakatadadadabaya. As I started praying, as I started out praying, I heard these words in my spirit, and I believe it's a famous quote, but I don't know who the author of this quote is. And I heard the words, try again. That's what I heard. And as I've been praying in the spirit, this quote began to well up. And I may not be saying it specifically, but I heard, if at first you do not succeed, try again. If at first you do not succeed, try again. I'm going to see if, oh, yes. Yes, I wanted to find the, I want to see if I can find this quote. Oh, I was right. If at first you don't succeed, try again. It is a famous proverb. If at first you do not succeed, try again. That is the word that the Lord gave me. And the verse of scripture that comes to mind is, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. For a righteous man falleth 7 times and rises up again. People of God, if at first you don't succeed, try again. You may be feeling like a failure in your own right over what has not happened in this year, but I'm encouraging you today. It is worth it to try and try and try and try and try again. This is not the time to faint. This is not the time to throw in the towel. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And thank you, Holy Ghost. And I'm hearing in my spirit, this time it will work. This time it will work. Try again. This time it will work. I'm going to dive straightway into the verses. And if you notice, we are sticking to the shortened, the condensed version of praying in the spirit for about 3 minutes instead of 5. And we're going to try to get through more of the word that we may get through the Bible. And I'm believing God we can get through the Bible before the end of January, or at least by the end of our 21-day fast that I'll talk about at the end of this if we have enough time. We are in the book of Ezekiel, picking back up at chapter 11 in the Message version of the Bible. That's where I'm going to start at today. Excuse me. Then the Spirit picked me up and took me to the gate of the temple that faces east. There were 25 men standing at the gate. I recognized the leaders, Jezaniah, son of Azor, and Pelatiah, son of Benaiah. God said, Son of man, these are the men who draw up blueprints for sin, who think up new programs for evil in the city. They say we can make anything happen. Here, we're the best. We're the choice pieces of meat in the soup pot. Oppose them, Son of man. Preach against them. Then the Spirit of God came upon me and told me what to say. This is what God says. That's a fine public speech, Israel. But I know what you are thinking. You've murdered a lot of people in this city. The streets are piled high with corpses. Therefore, this is what God the Master says: the corpses that you've piled in the streets are the meat, and this city is the soup pot, and you're not even in the pot. I'm throwing you out. You fear war, but war is what you're going to get. I'm bringing war against you. I'm throwing you out of this city, giving you over to foreigners and punishing you good. You'll be killed in battle. I'll carry out judgment on you at the borders of Israel. Then you realize that I am God. This city will not be your soup pot, and you won't be the choice pieces of meat in it either. Hardly I will carry out judgment on you at the borders of Israel, and you'll realize that I am God. For you haven't followed my statutes and ordinances. Instead of following my ways, you've sunk to the level of the laws of the nations around you. Even while I was preaching, Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, died. I fell down face to the ground and prayed loudly, O Master God, will you completely wipe out what's left of Israel? The answer from God came back, Son of man, your brothers, I mean the whole people of Israel who are in exile with you, are the people of whom the citizens of Jerusalem are saying, they're in the far country, far from God. This land has been given to us to own. Well, tell them this. This is your message from God, the Master. True, I sent you to the far country and scattered you through other lands. All the same, I've provided you a temporary sanctuary in the countries where you've gone. I will gather you back from those countries and lands where you've been scattered and give you back the land of Israel. You'll come back and clean house, throw out all the rotten images and obscene idols. I'll give you a new heart, my God. I'll put a new spirit in you. I'll cut out your stone heart and replace it with a red-blooded, film-muscled, then you muscled heart. Then you'll obey my statutes and be careful to obey my commands. You'll be my people. I'll be your God. But not those who are self-willed and addicted to their rotten images and obscene idols. I'll see that they're paid in full for what they've done. Decree of God, the Master. Then the cherubim spread their wings with the wheels beside them, and the glory of the God of Israel hovering over them. The glory of God ascended from within the city and rested on the mountain to the east of the city. Then, still in the vision given me by the Spirit of God, the Spirit took me and carried me back to the exiles in Babylon. And then the vision left me. I told the exiles everything that God had shown me. Chapter 12. God's message came to me, Son of man, you're living with a bunch of rebellious people. They have eyes but don't see a thing. They have ears but don't hear a thing. They're rebels all. So, Son of man, pack up your exiled duffel bags, leave in broad daylight with everyone watching, and go off as if to into exile. Maybe then they'll understand what's going on. Rebels though they are, you take up your baggage while they watch, a bundle of the bare necessities of someone going into exile, and toward every evening leave, just like a person going off into exile. As they watch, dig through the wall of the house and carry your bundle through it. In full sight of the people, put the bundle on your shoulder and walk out into the night. Cover your face so you won't have to look at what you never see again. I'm using you as a sign for the family of Israel. I did exactly as he commanded me. I got my stuff together and brought it out in the street where everyone could see me, bundled it up the way someone being taken off into exile would, and then, as the sun went down, made a hole in the wall of the house with my hands. As it grew dark and as they watched, I left, throwing my bundle across my shoulders. The next morning, God spoke to me, Son of man, when anyone in Israel, that bunch of rebels, asks you, what are you doing? Tell them, God the Master says that this message especially concerns the prince in Jerusalem, Zedekiah, but includes all the people of Israel. Also tell them, I am drawing a picture for you. As I am now doing, it will be done to all the people of Israel. They will go into exile as captives. The prince will put his bundle on his shoulders in the dark and leave. He'll dig through the wall of the house, covering his face so he won't have to look at the land he'll never see again. But I'll make sure he gets caught and is taken into Babylon blinded. He'll never see that land in which he'll die. I'll scatter to the four winds those who helped him escape, along with his troops, and many will die in battle. They'll realize that I am God when I scatter them among foreign countries. I'll permit a few of them to escape the killing, starvation, and deadly sickness so that they can confess among the foreign countries all the disgusting obscenities they've been involved in. They will realize that I am God. God's message came to me, Son of man, eat your meals shaking in your boots, drink your water trembling with fear. Tell the people of this land, everyone living in Jerusalem and Israel, God's message. You'll eat your meals shaking in your boots and drink your water in terror because your land is going to be stripped bare as punishment for the brutality rampant in it. All the cities and villages will be emptied out and the fields destroyed. Then you'll realize that I am God. God's message came to me, Son of man. What's this proverb making the rounds in the land of Israel that says everything goes on the same as ever? All the prophetic warnings are false alarms. Tell them, God, the master says this proverb's going to have a short life. Tell them, time's about up. Every warning is about to come true. False alarms and easygoing preaching are a thing of the past in the life of Israel. I, God, am doing the speaking. What I say happens. None of what I say is on hold. What I say I'll do as soon you rebels. Decree of God the Master. God's message came to me, Son of man. Do you hear what Israel is saying? That the alarm the prophet raises is for a long time off, that he's preaching about the far off future. Well, tell them God the Master says, nothing of what I say is on hold. What I say happens. Decree of God the Master. Chapter 13. God's message came to me, Son of man, preach against the prophets of Israel who are making things up out of their own heads and calling it prophesying. My God. Preach to them the real thing. Tell them, listen to God's message. God the Master pronounces doom on the empty-headed prophets who do their own thing and know nothing of what's going on. Your prophets, Israel, are like jackals scavenging through the ruins. They haven't lifted a finger to repair the defenses of the city and have risked nothing to help Israel stand on God's day of judgment. All they do is fantasize comforting illusions and preach lying sermons. They say, God says, when God hasn't so much as breathed in their direction, and yet they stand around thinking that something they said is going to happen. Haven't you fantasized sheer nonsense? Aren't your sermons tissues of lies saying God says when I've done nothing of the kind? Therefore, and this is the message of God, the Master, remember I'm dead set against prophets who substitute illusions for visions and use sermons to tell lies. I'm going to ban them from the council of my people, remove them from membership in Israel, and outlaw them from the land of Israel. Then you realize that I am God, the Master. The fact is that they've lied to my people. They've said, no problem. Everything's just fine. When things are not at all fine. When people build a wall, they're right behind them, slapping on whitewash. Tell those who are slapping on the whitewash, when a torrent of rain comes and the hailstones crash down and the hurricane sweeps in and the wall collapses, what's the good of the whitewash that you slapped on so liberally, making it look so good? And that's exactly what will happen. I, God the Master, say so. I'll let the hurricane of my wrath loose a torrent of my hailstone anger. I'll make that wall you slapped with whitewash collapse. I'll level it to the ground so that only the foundation stones will be left, and in the ruin you'll all die. You realize then that I am God. I'll dump my wrath on that wall, all of it, and on those who plastered it with whitewash. I will say to them, there is no wall, and those who did such a good job of whitewashing it wasted their time. Those prophets of Israel who preached to Jerusalem and announced all their visions, telling us things were just fine when they weren't at all fine. Decree of God the Master. And the women prophets, Son of Man, take your stand against the women prophets who make up stuff out of their own minds. Oppose them. Say doom to the women who sew magic bracelets and head scarves to suit every taste, devices to trap souls. Say, will you kill the souls of my people? Use living souls to make yourselves rich and popular? You have profaned me among my people just to get ahead yourselves. Used me to make yourselves look good, killing souls who should never have died and coddling souls who shouldn't live. You've lied to people who love listening to lies. Therefore, God says, I am against all the devices and techniques you use to hunt down souls. I'll rip them out of your hands. I'll free the souls you're trying to catch. I'll rip your magic bracelets and scarves to shreds and deliver my people from your influence so they'll no longer be victimized by you. That's how you'll come to realize that I am God, because you've confounded and confused good people, unsuspecting and innocent people with your lies, and because you've made it easy for others to persist in evil so that it wouldn't even dawn on them to turn to me so I could save them. As of now, you're finished. No more delusion mongering from you, no more sermonic lies. I'm going to rescue my people from your churches, and you'll realize that I am God. Chapter 14. Some of the leaders of Israel approached me and sat down with me. God's message came to me, Son of man, these people have installed idols in their hearts. They have embraced the wickedness that will ruin them. Why should I even bother with their prayers? Therefore, tell them the message of God, the Master, all in Israel who install idols in their hearts and embrace the wickedness that will ruin them and still have the gall to come to a prophet. Be on notice. I, God, will step in and personally answer them as they come dragging along their mob of idols. I am ready to go to work on the hearts of the house of Israel, all of whom have left me for their idols. Therefore, say to the house of Israel, God the Master says, repent. Turn your backs on your no God idols. Turn your backs on all your outrageous obscenities to every last person from the house of Israel, including any of the resident aliens who live in Israel, all who turn their backs on me and embrace idols, who install the wickedness that will ruin them at the center of their lives, and then have the gall to go to the prophet to ask me questions. I, God, will step in and give the answer myself. I'll oppose those people to their faces, make an example of them, a warning lesson, and get rid of them so you will realize that I am God. If a prophet is deceived and tells these idolaters the lies they want to hear, I, God, get blamed for those lies. He won't get by with it. I'll grab him by the scruff of the neck and get him out of there. They'll be equally guilty, the prophet and the one who goes to the prophet, so that the house of Israel will never again wander off my paths and make themselves filthy in their rebellions, but will rather be my people, just as I am their God. Decree of God the Master. God's message came to me, Son of man, when a country sins against me by living faithlessly, and I reach out and destroy its food supplies by bringing on a famine, wiping out humans and animals alike. Even if Noah, Daniel, and Job, the big three, were alive at the time, it wouldn't do to the population any good. Their righteousness would only save their own lives. Decree of God, the master. Or if I make wild animals go through the country so that everyone has to leave and the country becomes wilderness and no one dares enter it anymore because of the wild animals, even if these three men were living there, as sure as I am the living God, neither their sons nor daughters would be rescued, but only those three, and the country would revert to wilderness. Or if I bring war on the country and give the order, let the killing begin, leaving both people and animals dead, even if those three men were alive at the time, as sure as I am the living God, neither sons nor daughters would be rescued, but only these three. Or if I visit a deadly disease on that country, pouring out my lethal anger, killing both people and animals, and Noah, Daniel, and Job happened to be alive at the time, as sure as I am the living God, not a son, not a daughter would be rescued. Only these three would be delivered because of their righteousness. Now then, that's the picture, says God. The master, once I've sent my four catastrophic judgments on Jerusalem: war, famine, wild animals, disease, to kill off people and animals alike. But look, believe it or not, there'll be survivors. Some of their sons and daughters will be brought out. When they come out to you and their salvation is right in your face, you'll see for yourself the life they've been saved from. You'll know that this severe judgment I brought on Jerusalem was worth it, that it had to be. Yes, when you see in detail the kind of lives they've been living, you'll feel much better. You'll see the reason behind all that I've done in Jerusalem. Decree of God, the Master. In chapter 15, God's message came to me: Son of man, how would you compare the wood of a vine with the branches of any tree you'd find in the forest? Is vine wood ever used to make anything? Is it used to make pegs to hang things from? I don't think so. At best, it's good for fuel. Look at it, a flimsy piece of vine thrown in the fire, then rescued, the ends burned off and the middle charred. Now, is it good for anything? Hardly. When it was whole, it wasn't good for anything. Half burned is no improvement. What's it good for? So here's the message of God. The master, like the wood of the vine, I selected from among the trees of the forest and use as fuel for the fire. Just so I'll treat those who live in Jerusalem. I am dead set against them, even though at one time they got out of the fire charred. The fire's going to burn them up. When I take my stand against them, you'll realize that I am God. I'll turn this country into a wilderness because they've been faithless. Decree of God, the Master. And we're going to stop right there for today. Pick back up tomorrow at chapter 16. But just to save the date, let me just give you a save the date for now. More instructions will follow. Our 21-day fast at the top of the year, expecting greater. That this year was the first year that I did a crossover from January into February. So I was gonna shift it, and then I was like, no, I think I'm gonna keep it there. So we are going to start, our beginning of our fast is going to be 1/22, January 22nd. This is all very intentional. I'm not worried about what day of the week it is because I'm fasting all the days of the week anyways. But January 22nd to February 11th. January 22nd, and we're going to end February 11th. So 1/22, and we're going to end on 2/11. And so I'm looking forward to what God is going to do. I'll give you more details on that. It will be a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I can tell you that. Water only. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. water only. So you can start preparing yourself for things like that now. And then I will, like I said, I'll give you more details here in, maybe some more tomorrow. But for today, be blessed. I'll see you in the morning. Let's pick it back up at chapter 16.